This is Justin Scoop on Monday, September 29th, 2025. Take a look at SPX. So we had a bullish retest gap, gapped up from Friday. And let's jump right into the 3 minute because there were some interesting things that happened here. So right off the bat, we had somewhat of some of these like stair steps. Not stair steps, that's the wrong one. It's rest after battle. That's the term. So you have kind of like bookends with uh, some pullback in between. Even these three, it's just getting some three bear candles in a row. This one had two. This one had four in the middle, and it's bookended by a bunch of these bull candles. So, I mean, you can kind of maybe count this. This is where it starts to kind of break down. You have five smaller in between candles. Um, one of them bullish, but it still fits the framework of okay, hey, look, there's, you know, I get the tool away. Bull candle, bull candle, bull candle, bull candle, bull candle, bull candle, bull candle. I'm going to skip that one. Uh, and then we don't have more bear candles in between. It was working all this time, and as we were doing this, we were making some kind of higher lows. We're going, we're just kind of gently upward, a little bit like this too, compressing a little bit. I got that upper wick. So at one point, that was a really strong bull candle. Nope, denied, came right back down. And then we kind of tried it again over here, starting to move up, but nope, that didn't happen either. Then we broke down. So this is all right. We've got some bear candles coming in, and we don't get another bull candle to get this bought up. This should be a sizable bull candle if I can draw it straight. There, it should be a nice strong bull candle like that to give us another uh, rest after battle. Three bear candles in a row, bookended. Now, where's your bookend? Would it have been that candle as a bookend? Is it? It's not really that one. That's not really a bookend. That's not going to hold a book up on the shelf, right? Uh, and so it didn't work. It didn't happen. And so that was kind of the first. I wouldn't say the first signal because you could look for other things, but that was a great way to look for some reversal coming in. Uh, the strength really needed to hold that. And as soon as we started taking out like that level, that was the first kind of warning sign. And then we were trying to hold this. Actually, both of these. We were really trying to hold that, but we put in a really nice stair step right here and then collapsed. And so you should already be in bearish at this point, looking for it to retest, looking for a pullback. And that worked out great if you were in this. Going bearish. It came into the 100 here, kind of chopped around. It was kind of doing some consolidation like this. Looked like it was going to break out, kind of chopped, and then got into a really nice stair step through here. That ultimately broke down lower. And all the while, we're kind of forming this shape. I'm going to try and actually draw it with the drawing tool because, and if I can't get this just right, or at least how I want it to look, I've got it set up on TradingView, which is where I was drawing it earlier today. So I'm going to draw to this low right here. And okay, we're going to kind of go like that. And then let's put the upper range lined up here. And that can, all right. That's not quite the angle I was getting earlier. I'm not sure why. So anyway, this is, oh, and I may just still go over to TradingView anyway, because I've got it all in there. I want the 50% line. Can I do that? Yeah, 50%. And let's make it dotted. Okay. So doing all that is much faster in TradingView. That's one thing I do like about charting in there, what we're charting here. Uh, so all I did was grab the open or the low of this candle, the high of this candle, and then connect it to this next low over here to kind of see, okay, hey, where are things lining up? And immediately my eyes are drawn to, wow, that really held nicely as a midline. That's great. And then we kind of ran into that again here, but we pushed on through. And then as we're pushing up over here, we kind of petered out a little bit, pulled back, nice hammer there, went back up. And really, all of this is more of a double top sort of shape. And then you have this, I gotta delete I just drew. You kind of have the same thing happening again, where you have like three bear candles in between some bookends. Now that's not a bookend, absolutely not. But that looks like a bookend, and that looks like the start of one. And then the immediate candle following is breaking down. What's really cool about this, let me actually emphasize this. What's really cool about this candle is it took out any of that bullishness. It's gone. We're getting below that lower wick. All right. And so you don't have to be in yet. You can just buy a put on that candle right there. It's got an upper wick. You just set up the trade, see what happens, and we'll go look at the options, show you what happened. But we actually, you could have been in this and almost written it down to the bottom edge of this channel here. And then as the day closes, we're right back up at the top of it. So there were some back and forth trades later on, just going with kind of what was set up. So let's zoom back out. I'm going to leave that channel in there for now. Um, so the puts, you can see we had this low, kind of the lows through here, low through here, and kind of came into the low again here. Um, we, let's see. So this was the low on SPX, which is pretty much the same, comes into like the same value. Um, all along that the bottom of the channel, the downtrend, or the bottom side of the downtrend channel. That somewhat coincides with, and this is what I love seeing in the options here, that really coincides well with, hey, look, here is the high. Kind of draw that a little better. Let's try a different color too, because on white it doesn't work. So kind of match this up. Here's the downtrend, okay? And we're running into the high and the puts all through that. So we're getting a little bit higher here, a little bit higher here, than here, So like we're making relative highs and slightly higher, very slightly, which makes sense. We're going a little further past the previous low. So that low, okay, we're going a little bit past here. We're going a little bit past here. We're going a little bit past here. So we're making about the same value, but a little bit higher. And each time we got some decent pullbacks. So when we moved from this low up, we pulled back quite a bit here. And then the next time we move back up, well, that one wasn't as steep. So, hey, look, we didn't come back as far there. And then the next one, I'm trying to find either color. This one ran up to here. Oh, that was a bigger pullback. Look at that. Interesting. We're also later in the day. We're in the afternoon. Um, but where I was pointing out, like, look at this candle here with that upper wick. You would have been getting in on that candle. That actually gave you an opportunity to buy that candle there at $1. I love looking for options that you can just buy for $1. It's a 66.50 put, and you could have been in for $1, stop at zero, absolute zero setup, and just let it ride right back up into the previous high, right around 550, 6, somewhere in there. Probably would have hit. That's just what it's been doing. Sure enough, that's where, the option came down into this level. You could have been exiting there. If you're looking for more, you may not have gotten a great fill because it immediately just reversed there. So, um, just kind of cool to see all of that line up. And then it lost all its value because it got out of the money. Um, the 66.50 put was out of the money by close. Over on the call side, so you have something similar where you're kind of losing value as the day goes on, right? But you're also not making it up as high. That one goes a little higher. So it's not the same kind of down angle like that. You're going a little higher on each move back up with the call. Um, and so this is the 66.50 call. And you can see, we're quite a bit, at the high. Obviously, we're the highest we're going to be all day up here at this price. Didn't mean for that to draw over into the daily. So like there, we're right around the high. And then we just collapse. And as we collapse, we find some footing here down at this level that we used for the low of the connection point for the channel, but also the 100. That's where we were kind of finding some footing around 10 on this option. Um, but we're seen at 10 points in the money. It's just where the option price is right at that point. So I would not be looking to buy there with it being $10. I'd be looking for something, probably the 66.75 call, just to see what that was doing at that time of day. To see, okay, can we really, do something like this, kind of chop around and come back up? And then you're only, at this point, you're 5 points out of the money. So it's something that could have gone from a much smaller value and grown pretty significantly. But you are working against time, so you want to have them quickly. That's the theta decay. Uh, but yeah, so this 66.50 call, it actually put in a low of 205, and that would have been way over here had we actually came down and touched the bottom of this downtrend. Maybe that would have been down to like $1. I love looking for it to be down at $1, but I don't even know it would have gotten that far. Obviously, it didn't. You would have had to look for another option, probably 66.55, um, maybe 66.50 or 66.60. And then both of those were in the money by the end of the day. So yeah, it didn't work out today for it to come down to that price. Um, I was looking at, let's see, let's just jump over to 66.60. Is this what I was looking at? No, I don't think so. So that came quite a bit in. Okay, let's look at 66.55. That one should, yeah, so that did come down to $1, really nicely down to $1. Look at that. The low there is 0.85. Could have bought for $1, had that option, or had that setup just sitting open here down at this price. We've taken out a low. If bulls are going to come in, this is a great place because they're trapping any of the bears, and then we just run up at the end of the day. And then today actually ended really, really flat, like really flat on the day. We were really only bullish in the first, well, I guess that was like 2 hours because once we were over here, oh, you know what? Did we actually push back up? Okay, right towards the end of the day, it could have been a bull candle had we held around this level by the end of the day, but we did not. Came right back into this channel. So interesting price moves. We really need to hold this dotted red line here on the daily and stay above this, push up to a new all-time high. We're really close. It's probably going to hit 6,700. Could do that and then roll over. Same thing where bears were trapped today and the last 45 minutes. This rally here. Um, it's very possible that we'll push up and then we'll trap bulls if we get above 6,700, and then bulls come in or bears come in and trap the bulls. That'd be more of like a double top sort of setup. I don't know that we're going to hold this head and shoulders shape. I did not expect us to come this high up. We didn't really have an even shoulder on this side. It was a little easier to have that picture with this candle being the high. It wasn't too much higher above this candle here. It was up, but not as much as today's, quite a bit more higher. So we'll see if we do get some rolling over. I think that would be the next thing that has to happen to hold the shoulders pattern. Um, and then obviously we got to take out the neckline, take out these lows here and keep moving down. I don't know if it's going to do all that. We do have quite a few bear candles in the last few days. So 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the last 5 candles are bearish. We've done that before. So 1, 2, 3, 4 back over here. We had 4 bear candles and then we had some bulls. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 bear candles and some bull, a bull sideways and then up. We could totally go sideways up here. It's still kind of like a wait and see, but we really do need either some strength to come in, or if it doesn't, we need to wait a couple days to see, okay, what's going to happen. If they're bear candles, we'll probably trap and go higher. If they're bull candles, they're not going up very much. Uh, is that a time for it to trap a gap and go lower and really collapse? We're just gonna have to wait and see. So we'll take it one day at a time, and I keep looking for these sorts of patterns to show up. This was a great one. There was a lot of great setups. I was eyeing this for, was looking for it to get up to this, the upper range on this channel, and it wasn't quite getting there. And as it's starting to slow down, I'm like, you know what, I should get into a put. And it wasn't until afterwards looking at it like this, it's like, oh, that would have been the best setup right there. But sometimes you don't need the best setup. You can just get in bearish when it's like, all right, that's starting to go. It's a low risk, and would have been a great reward to ride this down to this area. Would have been better if it had actually touched the channel on either end. It did obviously here, but not the bottom end. Or I can probably redraw this a little bit and it lines perfectly, but no, this was setting up during the recording, doing it live, at least live for the recording. So anyway, hope this helps. This is Justin. Thanks.